All right, welcome back to Big Board. Looking at next war, Iran. Thought I'd do a quick vid because where were we? Turn 5 was just a banger. A lot of stuff went on. And let's try and recap a little bit if we can. Yesterday is all a little bit of a blur. Intense day. Let's, just from gaming perspective, nothing else, but just a lot going on here. Look, we started out with having the opportunity to move into the Gulf of Oman, which we pushed all our forces in. The submarine threat, can you see that over there? Whoop, crunch. Yeah, here. Submarine threat and ASW level. The delta between those and the impact that gives on the DRMs, I believe. Now keep in mind, it's been a while since I've played. And there's a lot going on in this game in general, and even more so with this particular title, I feel anyway. So I'm not obviously going to claim that I'm playing 100% accurately. just not going to do it. I'm working on it. I've pinged Mitch a couple of times with a couple of questions, just clarifying things. But nevertheless, we got into the inshore Gulf of Oman, which allowed us to bring our forces to bear amphibiously here and here. And later on, I decided to change my move, and I moved the SAG up to here to look for opportunities to provide some sort of support, naval bombardment support, etc. We've continued our campaign of destroying, in this particular section of the map anyway, kind of the east-west split, all these naval SSM sites. This is a dummy. I know that because of the body count on the destroyer units. I've actually started working on the western edge of the map. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4 left, and I believe 1 or 2 of those will be a dummy. I just allocated the units a split, an even split, right? There's 20 of them, 10 are real, and so I just split them evenly. So I know based on the fact that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, maybe I didn't. Maybe I had more here. I can't remember. Anyway, I know this is a dummy, right? So I've still got to spot it though, and prove it's a dummy, and I think the same goes for this other one. Just off screen here, this guy here. Anyway, let's focus on the interesting stuff. It was fascinating to me that these attacks that went in here using the 3 MEF with these chaps all went surprisingly well. And I actually kind of pseudo cheated a little bit. I used a helo insertion for these guys. We can move 1 step just so I could land them, and then I can get the full combat value versus doing the amphibious landing and everyone attacks at half. So that helped on the initial attack going in. We got close to max odds there. They had the unit I think had a strike on them as well, and then I applied just a metric buttload of air to give us the DRMs, and that sealed the deal there. What was also interesting was for Jask, flying in 82nd and 101st via the air, the airborne movement rates, and I paradropped these guys in, and they made it. Did I paradrop these guys in? I think I may have done these as well. I rolled really well for both of these, actually. No losses. So, yeah, because these guys were in Saudi Arabia, so there's no way they could make it. They could make it from Saudi Arabia, so we had to paradrop in. I don't believe there's a limit on the number of paradrops you can do. There might be. That might be a gating factor there, which I might have foobarred. But air transport limit. Now I'm seeing a marker for the Iranians. Is there one for the US? Ooh. Oh, well, you know what? All in. It just happened. We're going to leave it as is. I'm not, there probably is. Iranians counterattacked as well. That did not go well. These 4 rated guys, they were actually 5s when they did the attack. They suck. They could not get the odds on the 82nd Airborne because, look, these guys are tough on D. 4 factors on the defense. That's 12 on defense. We were coming in with 12 on the attack, so it was a 1-to-1. And then you do the adjustments for all the bits and pieces that have to go on with efficiency ratings and whatnot. Even with adding, this didn't add enough to get us to 1.5-to-1. So that was interesting. And I also had a chance to bring helos and air in to support that as well. Got the tracks down. Look at the tracks. We've got they just rebuilt this from 2. The detection is down. These come off, actually. Oh, no, they don't. They stay because we're actually in the middle of doing this for the next turn. Turn 6 is an initiative turn for the US. They picked up a swag bag of VPs for the turn, so they're well ahead of the curve and will have initiative, so they get to, well, have, all the benefits there of that. But we got the tracks down, which is making a huge difference on SAMs and AA and intercepting and all the rest of it. Meanwhile, I've spent some supply and built up the detection level to 9 for the US and 8 on the SAMs, making a big difference there for Team USA and allies. We're plinking away now at the airfields here, and there's one up there that we're shooting, air bases, airfields as well, looking to start to further degrade the Iranian forces, which and the PRC's forces, which you can see here. They're pretty beat up. There's not a lot of goodness left. There's one decent unit here. Now, so what have I done wrong for the Iranians? I think that's worth a quick chat, and it's probably a strategy thing to be thinking about. I had a couple of opportunities when I had point detects in the Gulf of Oman inshore box. I think what I should have done was, with my Iranian missile points, I think I should have been significantly more aggressive. And instead of just using 3 missile points per CV or amphibious unit, I should have probably used 5 or 4 or whatever, just to get the confirmed damage and push the guys out of the Gulf. That was a mistake. I think I probably should have just shot my wad on these things here. I was thinking, hey, look, this is a longer scenario. There's another 10 turns to go here, I believe. We need to preserve some of our capacity to keep shooting missiles, when really this was the key right here. If we stop this landing by forcing them all back out to the Atlantic, then the US has got to reset. That gives me time to adjust force movement and positioning. I am down to 5 naval SSMs. We went to town with those. Amazingly ineffective rolling, unfortunately. So that had a negative impact. But I think I should have been more aggressive with that. I really haven't been spending very much in terms of rebuilding units or aircraft, mainly because they're just so inefficient. The aircraft are just really freaking useless. And I just debate the worth of throwing them back into the mix, because it's not going to change the air supremacy rating, and it's not really going to give me very much of an opportunity to do any intercepting because of the detection level, number one. And if I do my own missions, I'm going to get attacked by dudes with 6 ratings that are, double standoff, what a long distance, whatever shots, and it's game over before you even get started. So I kind of just said, literally, fuck it. I'm out. I think this turn I will probably rebuild some units just to put fodder back on the table to slow down and or look for opportunities to beat on these Marines. If I can corner a couple of units, isolated, not isolated, but alone. There's a chance I can beat up on them, but when they're in a stack like this, no way. I had actually landed this 82nd Airborne unit here originally. On reflection, I decided here was a better location for it. So I made that move, made that adjustment for the Allies. Just it's post move thing. I'm playing solo, so it's all good, right? You're playing late at night, and sometimes you don't think through all the consequences. But so I moved that guy there. That's about the only big adjustment I made. I did go back and look at some of the rolls I had made for recovery and for ballistic missiles and cruise missiles, because I think I had been using the wrong column, and I went back and looked at my die rolls because I've been making notes on them, and everything worked out pretty much okay. So we didn't create any massive issues with erroneous play. So I'm feeling pretty good, generally speaking, about the gameplay. I think I'm surprised I got in as quickly as I did here. I was thinking I was going to have to play this out probably till turn 7 before I made landings. But given that we have demolished the patrol boat track, crushed the detection factors here, it seemed like a good opportunity to get after it, particularly given that there were none of these guys left. I think this one, yeah, they're both dummies. So I need to finish those off just to be legit with the gameplay. But anyway, so that's turn 5. A lot happened. It took a long time to play this turn. I have not got these guys into the game yet. And that's the other thing I probably could have done, is also been more aggressive on my attacking here. I was pretty aggressive. I've destroyed this base a couple of times, these bases a couple of times, and spent supply to rebuild them as the Allies, which is a big distraction for them. I think more of that would have been better. Anyway, that's my little update for, what did I say, turn 5. Go roll dice. Ciao.